Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy Dinari here. Before we get started with today's episode of the Youngbouls Podcast, I wanted to let you guys know about this clothing company y'all need to go check out. It's called Solitary Faith Apparel. It's by my man Manny. He does a lot of clothing pieces, and he's got a website now. So if you guys like pieces like I do, and you like clothing just like me, I need to go check out Solitary Faith Apparel right now. His website is online. There's a lot of diamond tees, shorts, so a lot of stuff on there that you guys can go check out and buy. Tell him that the Young Bulls podcast sent you. Go support, Manny. Support his business. Support his clothing apparel. And hope you guys enjoy the episode. And then again, website is Solitary Faith Apparel. And make sure y'all guys go follow the IG at Solitary Faith Clothing. I'll put it at the description and the bottom of this episode right here. But make sure you guys go check it out, Solitary Faith Clothing, and go cop yourself a piece or two. I know I will. Enjoy the episode. Peace.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Brand new episode here of the Young Bulls Podcast. We got a very special guest today. If you're from Temple, or if you go to Temple, you listen to the WHIP, you've heard it on the wake-up call, but Kori Parker, live in the flesh, in the studio today. Kori, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting. We just interviewed you from when we're recording this on the radio show. So to be on your show is such an honor. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. And then I know I said thank you when I was on the radio interview, but just thank you again for having me. It was a fun experience. So, yeah.
I'm glad
let's
you
go ahead and
enjoyed
get,
it.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get started, though. Like, Kori, tell the people, what exactly you do. I mean, obviously we know you do Wake Up Call, but is it possible you can, elaborate on, more about that and talk to us about how you got started with it and everything like that?
Yeah, so what do? I feel like I kind of do so many different things here at Temple. Saying it out loud actually stresses me out because it's like, what am I doing? I think I'm doing way too much. My mom would tell me, Kori, you're doing the absolute most. And I'm like, I got it, but deep down inside, I don't think I do.
Right.
So outside of radio, I'm a student ambassador for the business school. I'm the in-game host and public announcer for Temple Sports. Well, at least one of them for Temple Sports, secretary for Black Student Union.
Gosh,
And
that is
then
a lot.
I know, and I'm a student vlogger for Temple now. So now I'm on their YouTube channel. And then I also work at the developmental office, which is for the business school, and STHM, which is the sports, hospitality, and tourism school. So there's definitely a lot. But when it comes specifically to radio, I think that's my main thing because I do that every single day. It feels like a job at this point. I got involved in radio. I went to the club fair for Klein, which is Temple's communications school. And through that, I found that they had radio. I wanted to do TUTV, but I knew I wanted to be on air. And I knew as a freshman, there was no way that was going to happen because,
Right.
they prefer the seniors, the more seasoned people, and I wasn't seasoned. But WHIP radio enabled freshmen like me to actually be put on air. So I was like, ding, ding, ding. That is what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And now I'm on Wake Up Call. I'm the executive producer for the show. And it's absolutely amazing. I love the show so much.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So just continuing talking about Wake Up Call and everything like that, how did that even come about? Because I'm pretty sure you said this when when I was on the radio. I'm pretty sure you said that this was a new thing. This wasn't happening before. So how did the Wake Up Call come about? And, how did it come about?
So it's really interesting that you asked that. So Wake Up Call actually did exist before I joined as a freshman. However, before I joined, it was kind of just one of those shows where you just talked about kind of anything. It was just the morning show for WHIP because the show airs from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So we're the longest
Right.
show on WHIP and we air every single day, Monday through Friday. So it existed before, but there was really no organization. There was no social media account for the show. But then when I joined and I was the only one hosting daily, it was like, we need some type of organization because we're running out of topics to talk about. We can't keep talking
Right.
about the love industry, the love in the music industry and the entertainment industry. So I joined Wake Up Call. But before that, even, I was in contact with the entertainment director to find out when was the show going to start. I didn't know anything, absolutely nothing, you guys. I get a text from my co-host now, who's also one of my big sisters, Rachel, and she's like, "Hey, Kori, I was instructed by the entertainment director to contact you about joining Wake Up Call. I said, girl, I don't know why, because I don't know how radio works. I've never touched a radio board in my life. I don't know how to host radio. I know absolutely nothing. So I don't know why you're contacting me. But there was Jay, who is the seasoned person on Wake Up Call. I'm like, I don't know why you're not reaching out to him, because I can't help you. I know absolutely nothing. But it was from that I actually became like the main point of contact for Wake Up Call. And then how our show came together, Jay texted us one day saying, yo guys, we go live tomorrow. And he said, Kori, you're in charge of the show. I said, me? In charge of the first show? I don't know what I'm doing. But that was how our first day of airing the show came to be. It was such a scary experience. I didn't know what I was doing. None of us knew what we were doing except Jay, to be honest, because he had done it before.
Right.
But they kind of immediately made me the leader of the show, which was like, guys, do you really want this? But now it's worked out, so I'm grateful.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Because I will say, like, when I came to the show and everything to do the radio for the interview, I will say that it was a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie. Just being sitting there and just having the headphones on and talking and knowing that, like, thousands of people are listening to and everything on the airwaves and stuff like that. I can only imagine doing that, like, every single day, especially, like, having that at the start and then not knowing what to do and everything like that. I can only imagine how hard and scary that possibly could have been.
Listen, it was so stressful. It was super stressful. And we never met in person before. We only met on FaceTime like once before we went live. So we were
Oh,
a bunch
wow.
of randoms, different years, different ages. Jay had been at Temple for a few years. Rachel was new to Temple. I was a freshman. I didn't know anything. So it was just a bunch of us coming together. We knew nothing about each other, but I thank God that first day we actually kind of acted and sounded like we knew each other when we really didn't at all.
Oh, wow. That's,
Yeah.
that's, so like, talk me through like, what's like a planning day for like the show? Like, you get there, you do the episode, like, talk to me through about all of that and just how does the show come about?
So when it comes to the whole like process of Wake Up Call, like I said, we host the show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. There's four
Right.
of us that host the show. I host Monday through Friday. Rachel hosts Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Jay hosts Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then Randy hosts Monday and Friday. And Randy joined the show later, which is why I didn't mention her in the beginning. So we all have different days we're in charge of planning the show. This just makes it so one person doesn't have to do absolutely everything.
Right.
This includes just researching topics. It also includes writing the questions for our guests. So depending on the day that you're coming on the show, depends on who's writing your questions. Even though I'd like to say the questions are more of an outline, not necessarily a strict list of questions we're asking.
Right.
Then when it comes to the preparation, we get there. To be completely honest, we don't necessarily all know what we're talking about that day. Just the person that planned it does. Something we need to work on, but until then, it's working. And so that's really just how we prepare for the show. And then obviously there's the social media part of it. And this year I'm super grateful and blessed that we have a team working behind the scenes for us. So we don't have to do everything. Now we have someone that's in charge of our email and communication. Someone's in charge, or some people, there's a group of them in charge of our social media and content creation. So we don't have to do all of that. And we can really put all of our focus onto the show. With the planning, we also have our weekly meetings. We meet with the entire team, hosts and behind the scenes crew, to really just talk about the show and how we want to grow. What can we do better? What can we change? What should stay the same? And just a collaborative session to just talk about the future of the show and how we're doing. So there's low-key a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, it sounds
But I
like
feel like
it.
it's kind of like a daily thing too. Oh, and then the guests. We're always having to find guests because we interview every single day. So we
Right.
need guests Monday through Friday. And we don't want the same guests,
you want to
So it's
switch it
like
up,
we have
yeah.
to research, find people, actually communicate with them. Oh yeah, you would be a great person to have on the show. Okay, now we have to schedule them.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. It's a long process for
I
sure.
will I will say, like, I listened to like a couple of episodes like before I got onto the thing, but I will say that you guys like really do your homework on like each guest. So, and that's like really cool because I'm not gonna lie, when you guys are asking me about like the episodes and stuff like that, I was like, oh, you guys actually like listen to this and stuff like that. So I think that's dope, and I think that is like really just shows like how much effort and how much energy you guys are putting into like the episodes and stuff, because you know you don't have to do that stuff. You could just go there and just
Yeah.
ask like carbon copy questions, and then you know just roll from there. But you guys actually do your homework on like each guest, and it makes it like each episode like unique and different than the last one. So shout out to you guys for real.
Thank you. I mean, I think for us too, and I'll speak for myself at least, I want the interviews to feel more like a conversation more than we're just asking you a bunch of questions
Yeah,
for like a job interview. So
yeah,
our goal is to actually look and sound like we're interested because we are. Okay, you created this podcast. How did you go about creating it? Why did you create it? Okay, you
right.
have this episode. It seemed really interesting. What was this about? Like, what was your thought process when it came to planning the episode? Like, we're genuinely wanting to be interested in what we are having our guests on the show for. So I think that makes it so we do our research. We don't want to look stupid while we're interviewing you either. Like that would
Nah,
be
I feel
so
you. I feel you.
embarrassing. Like, oh,
Same.
you host a podcast? We didn't know that. Like that would be traumatic.
Nah, that'd be terrible. That'd be terrible.
So we have to do our research. We definitely stalk our guests for a little bit
Nah, that's cool.
on
That's cool.
social media.
That's got you, got you. All right, so next question. Out of all the episodes that you guys have done, what do you think is like your most favorite episode or memorable episode that you guys have done?
That's a hard question. I think I don't know. There's probably I can't think of one. There's two that I'm thinking
Okay,
of. The
got
first
you.
one is when we interviewed my dad. My dad is an assistant pastor, he's in ministry. And then obviously he's also just my dad. And
Yeah,
so
that's
when we
cool.
had him on the show, that was super awesome. And I was that was the day Rachel and I hosted. So she was asking him questions like, what was it like raising Kori? And it was interesting to hear his perspective because I only know him as a dad. I've never heard how was it like to raise me as your daughter. And then the second episode would be when we interviewed Taylor Rue, who was one of the stars on Love is Blind, which is my favorite reality show. I'm
My mom
obsessed
loves
with
that
the
show.
show.
My mom loves that show.
It's a great show. You guys should go watch it. So when we interviewed her, that was amazing. And now, like, her and I talk every now and then. So it's like, wow, like, we're
That's dope.
Instagram friends
Yeah, that's dope. That's
as a
dope.
result.
That's dope. That's dope. That's cool. All right. So what do you think is like your biggest motivation? Like you go into the studio every day to record, trying to get your mind right. What do you think is the thing that's keeping it going for you to continue like to make great content? And then also too, the follow up with that, just like you said, you're like a very busy person. So like how in the world are you able to juggle all this stuff on top of just, you know, being a college student too? Because you're a sophomore, right? You're a
I'm a
sophomore.
sophomore.
Yeah, so like how are you able to like balance all this stuff out too?
I would say my motivation, especially for radio, is just my end goal. I really know that I want to be in journalism after college. My dream is to be an anchor on CNN or have a show of my own or with alongside other hosts as well on a well-known news network or because of radio I've really started to love it, so maybe even a radio show like that would be super awesome. And granted, camera is cool. If I can wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt every day and
Exactly,
just yap
exactly.
for hours, listen,
All
I
right.
will do it. But I would just say the end goal keeps me motivated. It's like I'm working towards something, and then when I see people are actually interested in coming on the show, or even today, someone said, "Yeah, I just followed your radio show account." She didn't. Well, she followed the radio show account, not knowing I was a part of it when we were talking.
Right.
And I told her, "Yo, we need to get you on the show." She was like, "No way, you're part of Wake Up Call." Like when I
That's
see that or
dope.
hear
That's
that, it's
dope.
like, you know what that
That's
is? It's
dope. That's
crazy.
dope. I told you, Corey. I said to you a couple of days ago, like I told you, like on campus, like people know who you are and stuff like that. You're a household name on campus, low key. Like people know you on campus. They know
Which
you
is
on campus.
crazy. That is so crazy to me because I don't feel like that. I don't feel like I know a lot of people, but I don't feel like a lot of people necessarily know me. So when you say that, it's like, really? Like
Yeah,
who's
yeah. You
watching?
host. Look, you host a radio show that comes on every single day,
I know.
Monday through Friday during the week. People are eventually gonna like catch on, like, oh, that's Corey. Like that's her. That's her. Like, and
It's
you've been doing it since last year. So like,
yeah,
a lot of people know who you are and stuff like that. So
it's
that's
crazy.
dope. That's dope.
It's
Because the
crazy.
same thing with me and the podcast. Like I told you, like freshman year I started this, and people started like catching wind of me doing it. But over the past like summer and everything like that, like people were like, "Oh, you're a podcast boy" and stuff like that. I was like, "I guess, yeah, yeah." Name's Dinari though, but yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll be like, yeah, I'll be seeing your stuff on the stories and everything like that, and I'll be like, yeah, that's what's up, and that it low key keeps me going and makes me smile a lot too. So that's cool.
Exactly. So like
Yeah,
knowing that people are seeing the work that you're putting in is
exactly.
motivation
Right.
in and of itself.
Right.
And just the opportunities you get is more motivation because it's like if we can get this opportunity, we can definitely get some things that are better than it as well. And then once
For
again, just
sure.
the end goal. So I would say collectively speaking, those are all of my motivations. Um, when it comes to how do I balance it, that's a great question. I don't think I do. I actually think I'm a hot mess up here. Like I'm stressed 24/7. I'm sleep deprived 25/8. Like I'm a hot mess. And I can't ever shut my brain up. So I'm always just thinking about, okay, what else can I be doing? And I always say yes to everything, even though I should start saying no.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
so when it comes to balancing, I have absolutely like no idea. I don't think I do balance. I use a calendar, I use reminders, but even still I lack so much routine. It's like I just go. I don't follow a schedule. So tomorrow I'm starting officially trying to get into a routine, but I also say that every week. So we'll see. I will see if that works. But no,
Got
I
you.
don't think I do much. I mean, a few days ago, I took a mental health day because I couldn't do it. Like, I was done. I was done. And so I didn't go to radio. I didn't go to BSU. I didn't go to work. I didn't do anything. Like, I literally just took a mental health day because I literally physically could not do it. So I think that's
Yeah.
part of how I balance it is just realizing, okay, Kori, you're low key doing too much. You're up here. You need to come down
Right.
here. You need to go down a few
Right.
notches.
Right.
Um, and I think that would be it because I don't know. I don't feel like I can relax. Like I just can't relax. I'm always on my technology. I'm always at home. And even when I'm at home, I'm doing work stuff. So it's like, Kori, you don't balance anything. You just go, go, go. There's no stopping.
I feel that because like, since I've been in college and everything like that, I've always heard that it's like important to balance, important to, have like a work and then like a school balance and making sure you're not doing too much. But I always find myself like either overworking or just like, finding myself doing a lot more than what I need to do.
Yes.
So, just not for us, but like just for listeners out there too. Like I feel like that's why it's very imperative for you to like take days where, you just settle down and just step away from what you're doing and just, give yourself some grace and give yourself a break. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna continue stressing yourself out, cause you to have like attacks and, just more stress and nobody wants that. So, just really make sure you give yourself some grace and give yourself some time. Because I'm still trying to figure out how to do that now. But yeah. Oh, you were about to say something? Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. I was gonna say you're so right. Like the amount of I remember last year vividly. We were on a live stream even for the show, and I literally had a panic attack. I couldn't catch my breath. I was getting lightheaded. And mind you, we're live on air and we're live on Instagram. I still have the video. Like, I think it's on my Instagram. You can
Oh,
see the
whoa.
live stream where I was literally falling apart. I couldn't cry live on air. Like, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
Right.
But I'm having a little panic attack because I'm just stressed. Like, there's too much going on. So take the advice that he just gave and don't burn yourself out because if you don't take a rest, your body will force you to rest. You can't
Yeah.
always be go go go. You're gonna get panic attacks. Like I get panic attacks every day. Like a few weeks ago, every single morning, I woke up in a panic. I'm like, what is going on?
How?
Like this life needs to. Something's not going right.
How are you waking up in a panic though? Like that's
I
just off the wake up?
just I would wake up and I literally was in tears because I was just stressed. And I called my dad. I was like, dude, I don't know what I'm even stressed about. I'm just stressed.
I
So I
feel
think
it.
it's just because there's just too much going on. But I suck
Yeah.
at managing everything. Everything gets done and I do all I need to do. But like
Like procrastinating, like
not
that sort
even
of thing.
procrastinating. I just don't rest. That's the problem. I don't take a break. I'm always go, go, go. Like before this, I was doing homework. Before that, I had a BSU. Before that, I had a game. Like there was no break. I'm literally eating my lunch as I'm walking back to the BSU. Yeah.
No, I feel you. I feel you. But all right. So next question. So you said that you also do like in-game hostings for like Temple and everything
Yes.
like that. So like, talk to me about that because that sounds like that's like a fun job and everything like that. So just talk to me about how you even got started with in-game hosting. Like, what's your favorite moment from doing it? Things like that.
Yes. Literally the most fun job ever. Granted, I've only in-game hosted one game. I've public announced like 4 or 5 games. What's the difference? In-game hosting is at a football game, when the game has paused, they're at a timeout or whatever. There's someone on the camera going around getting the crowd hype, you know, or if there's like a little game on the field, they're the ones hosting the games. That's in-game hosting. Public announcing is the guy that says, please stand for the national anthem, or number one, so and so and so, number
Right.
two, so and so and so. So I do both of those. My favorite memory would probably be hosting my first game. Like, that to me was so insane because I was literally walking onto the Eagles Stadium. Like, that was
That's
crazy. Granted, it's where Temple plays. I'm literally walking on to where Jalen Hurts walks. Like, that to me, that's crazy. That's
that's
crazy.
dope. That's
So
dope.
that was super cool. Getting a media pass, it's like, wow, that's absolutely insane. But I'm so grateful for the experience. It was absolutely amazing. But that would probably be my favorite memory. Or for public announcing, my favorite memory was probably today when I actually pronounced the coaches' names correctly. The last names I've been screwing up every single week. I could not get it for the life of me. How it's spelled is not how it's said.
Right.
And I messed it up, no joke, almost every time. But today I got it right, so I was very
That's
proud of
good. That's
myself.
good.
So that's another
That's what's
core
up.
memory.
That's what's up.
As for how I got involved, I knew about the position because I know that someone last year was doing it. Shout out Lee and shout out Hunter. And I believe Avery as well did it last year. I may be wrong, but I remember seeing them at the games and I was like, that is super cool. I want to do that. And so I didn't know who to reach out to, but I knew it was someone in athletics. So I did my research. I found somebody that's involved with athletics, but the communication side of it. And I was like, hey, I saw so and so doing this, and I think it's such a cool position. How can I get involved? And she responded and she was like, hey, Kori, auditions are coming up. I will make sure that you're in the loop and you get the audition information. And so, lo and behold, the auditions come around. I get the information. I go to the audition, and then I get a message a few days later saying, you got the position. I was like, absolutely crazy. No way. And
That's what's up.
so, super grateful. I think I'm the first girl to do this. So
Oh wow.
they were
Shout
like,
out to you. Shout out.
and I'm like, that's so cool. And so, especially when it came to attire, they said, we've never had a girl do this before. So have fun with it. Because a lot of the time the guys just wear like their khaki shorts and their shirt. But I
Right.
told them I really don't want to wear khakis. And I don't know. That's not for me. So I've been able to have fun with it. But that's how I
That's
got
what's up.
involved with the in-game hosting and public announcing.
That's what's up. Because like, before you said anything about it, I didn't even know that there was sort of like auditions for it. I thought it was just like a first come, first serve type of thing. But to hear that you had to audition for it and everything like that, it's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool.
Yes, I had
So,
to audition.
so you asked me this when I was on the radio, but I wanted to ask you this too. So, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done, when it comes to you and basically, what you want to do with your life? Like you said, you do content, in-game hosting, executive producing a radio show, So what do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
That's a good question, Dinari. I don't know. I feel like just wanting to be someone that brings positivity to such like a dark world. I feel like I'm very upbeat, very high energy. I have ADHD, so I can say this, but very ADHD.
Gotcha,
Like
gotcha.
I'm just very high energy. So just being able to like have an impact on people and just providing people with positivity, positive energy. I think the world can be so boring, dark, and just being someone that's just honest. Like I want people to know, yes, you can do all this, but you can still be positive and you can still have anxiety. You can still have ADHD. Like the struggle will be real, but you can do anything. So I think just encouraging people to and inspiring people to just be positive, be happy, be upbeat. But even though you're that, doesn't mean you don't have other struggles as well. Because like I have very bad anxiety. It's gotten way better, but I'm very open with it. If you were to ask me about anything about anxiety, no joke, I will tell you anything and everything because it's who I am. So just telling people that you know it's okay to be down sometimes, but at the same time, just having a positive impact on the community and just bringing positive vibes. I feel like that's just the legacy I want to live. Just bringing positivity, encouraging people to be the best they can be.
That's what's up. That's a good answer. That's a good answer because especially in like today's day and age, there's a lot of things in life that can discourage people from continuing to keep going with what they're trying
Yeah.
to do, stop them from, reaching their goals. And, they start looking at what other people are doing and feel like they're not doing enough. So to just have that mindset to just keep pushing and to just keep going and don't stop and just continue to do what you're trying to do. I feel like it's very important. It's definitely helping you out for sure,
Thank you.
with everything that you're doing. Hopefully it's doing the same thing for me. But and also learning too about, it's okay to not be okay sometimes. I feel like that's very, vulnerable and very, very important to be able to say because, you're not going to always have it figured out. You're not going to always have days where you're on sunshine and rainbows, you're not going to always have that. There's going to be days where you're going to be down in the dumps. It's going to be raining and you're not going to feel like, dealing with anybody or really dealing with anything. So it's okay to have those days and use those days as like mental break days and be able to reset yourself. Because hopefully like the next day it's not the same thing. But
100%.
yeah, so I think that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think of any more questions I have because I feel like we just went through them all. Actually, I'm gonna ask, how in the world have you not seen the Boondocks yet? That's what I'm gonna ask you. How
Oh
have
my
you?
gosh.
I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask. I'm
No,
just gonna ask.
listen, I grew up in a Disney household. Disney was all I ever watched. And so I honestly didn't know about Boondocks until high school. And so, to be honest, I didn't even know how to spell it. Like Boondocks, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know was it Boondocks, Boondots. I didn't know. I felt like
Right.
my black card was going to be taken away from me all the time because I just didn't know what it was. Still to this day, I don't know what the show is. Um,
Wait, like as in right now, you've never like you still don't know like what the show. You've never seen clips of the Boondocks before?
And I'm not even lying to you. Like, if I did, it was a long time ago because I didn't know what it was. But I've never watched an episode. I don't know where to find it. Don't know the plot of the
What?
story. Don't know any of the
What?
episodes, who's a part of it. Don't know any of the characters. All I know is a bunch of black characters.
What?
And I might even be wrong. It's a bunch of black characters, right?
Right, it is.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to be scared.
What? Hold on a sec. I'm about to show you a character real quick. There's no way you've never seen at least one. You've never seen the video of Tom singing Usher? Wow. Hold on.
I did not see that.
That is. You don't know who this is? Hold on.
I've seen him. I know people have had him as their Instagram profile picture. I don't know who that is. If you showed me that, I would not have told you that was from Boondocks. I would have thought it was probably like a meme.
Wow. Wow.
I've
But I mean,
no joke, only watched Disney.
so like what other shows have you not seen yet? I mean, what other shows have you not seen yet?
Living Single.
What else?
Um,
What else have you not seen?
what are some other shows that I should know?
I'm just gonna name some. Jamie Foxx show,
Never watched it.
Bernie Bernie Mac.
No.
You never seen the Bernie Mac show?
But I did watch
Um.
Martin
Okay.
and the
I was
Bill
about to say that
Cosby
next.
show. I did watch those too. But not I didn't
Okay.
even watch those all the time. It was more just like it would be on and I would watch, oh, what's that show? Something and Friends, Sons? Something and Son?
Sanford and Sons.
Yes.
Have you seen the Jeffersons before?
Maybe like an episode.
Good Times.
Yeah. I know the song. It's a good time. Like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I guess.
Something like
I'm not.
that.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I mean, I've never seen like I told you before the show. Like I've never seen Friday before. Um. Yeah, that's pretty much it on my end. I don't name some shows.
Okay. I'm gonna name you the Disney shows. Did you watch Ant Farm?
Of course, of
Good
course.
Luck Charlie?
Yes,
Jesse?
I didn't like that show.
But did you watch it?
Eh, kind of.
Zoe 101, that's Nickelodeon. Did you watch that?
I love Zoe 101. Yeah,
Victorious?
Victorious. Yeah, I like Victorious.
Okay, this is an old one. Imagination Movers. Did you watch that?
Imagination Movers.
Imagination Movers.
I did not watch that, but I watched Choo Choo Soul. I watched that though.
That was a good one. I
Yeah.
love that show.
Yeah. Have you seen Zeke and Luther before?
I heard about it. I don't think I watched it.
Fish Hooks?
No.
You never Phineas and Ferb?
Yes.
I'm hoping. Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. I'm trying to think of any other Disney shows that you probably haven't watched. Have you seen Even Stevens?
No.
Really?
I was also like a talk show girl, so I watched The Real a lot.
Really?
I watched The Real, Golden Girls. What else? I was a movie girl too, so Cheetah Girls, High School Musical. I watch Cheetah Girls to this day. That's like the only Disney Plus movie or thing in general I watch.
I still don't understand the premise of High School Musical, even after like all the years. Look. Just hear me out, right? Hear me out. You're telling me that they're in a basketball league, they're in a high school basketball league, where they're allowed to sing and stuff mid-game, and no one's able to make any sort of adjustments on the other team to stop them from scoring?
It's a musical.
I mean, yeah, but still, though, like, that shouldn't work.
It's a good movie. And the vocals, Troy, Gabriella, they sang a song in the second one. The second one's the best one, period, point blank.
The second one?
Yes. If you said the first one is the best one, you just didn't watch.
No. I was saying the third one was the best one for me. I like the third one.
Third one. I don't really remember that one. I don't think I've really watched that.
The senior year one, I feel like, was the best one.
I might need to watch that today. You've given me an idea.
Yeah, there you go. You need to watch Atlanta though. Before you watch the third High School Musical and stuff, you need to watch Boondocks and you need to watch Atlanta. Like, that's your homework. Like, we don't even give out homework for the podcast and stuff, but that's your homework. That's that's something you got to do. This is like you gotta catch up on that.
It's giving High School Musical 3. I think that'll be the homework before the homework.
Okay. But yeah. Kori, before you go, anything else that you wanted to just ask about, anything like that, or anything else you wanted to say to the people?
Anything else I want to say? I feel like there's not anything. There's nothing really. Trying to think. No, because I feel like it's really off topic. The thing I'm thinking about is so off topic. Like, it's so random.
It's all good. But
there's nothing.
That's gonna do it for this episode, though. This was dope. I loved it. Kori, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys go check out the Wake Up Call on WHIP Mondays through Fridays, 9 to 11, right? 9 to 11, right?
9 to 11, Monday through Friday. All the episodes are posted on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You guys can find us on Instagram at wakeupcall.whip. And then my personal Instagram is at IamKorip. So go check both those accounts out.
That's what's up. So again, this is Dinari here, Kori. That's it for another episode. You guys are gonna catch me again sometime this week on the podcast. Probably gonna do like another episode after the Saints game tomorrow. But thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys later this week. Kori, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Peace out, guys. Love you, and see you in the next episode.